Okay guys, Religious Jedi here, and I am here to uh, show you how to get a Pokemon from a Wondercard using PPRNG, and in addition show you that now 3DS and DS Lite, DSi, any version, DSi regular or DSi XL support is now valid. This is both for RNG Reporter and PPRNG. And well, you're probably wondering why it took so long to show a video about how to get a flawless Pokemon through a Wondercard. Well, Nintendo has finally released the Wondercard Pokemon, being Victini. So let us get started with this. You should already know that you should have your DS parameters. To let you know, first off, DSi and 3DS have different parameters. I have all three versions of a DS. Well, 3 of the 4 versions. No, excuse me. 3DS is sort of separate, I guess we can say. Regardless, DS Lite, 3DS, and DSi. I found, well, there are obviously differences between all three. So, yeah, make sure you do your parameters beforehand, because your DS Lite parameters will not be the same as your 3DS or DSi. Okay, so let's get started. First off, obviously, hit Wondercard Seed Searcher, and here's the window. Pretty small compared to a Standard Seed or a Neg. To note, Wondercard IVs are tied in to the PID. So unlike having to calculate two different RNGs, you're only calculating one, and the PID and the IVs are tied in together. This is sort of similar to how it was back in 4th Gen. The good news is, since this is still Standard Seed Abuse, it's not delayed based. You still match it down to the second. Alright, so you have a few options here. Obviously, you always want to put mark all 3 boxes, all 4, excuse me. Wondercard type. Depending on the type of Pokemon it is, Standard is most likely going to be the obvious one. Very rarely do we get any shiny ones. So yeah, PPRNG will leave these values all faded. You won't be able to touch them. Shiny is different. I don't know. You can see how it changed. IV skip 24, PID skip 2, nature skip 3. Yeah, Victini is standard Wondercard, so don't even bother with shiny. Custom, you can screw around with those values, but really you should only mess around with standard and shiny. And like I said, Victini is standard. So yes, fixed nature, that's pretty obvious. Certain Wondercard Pokemon only come with a certain nature. For example, last year's Wondercard event, Raikou, the one they gave you at the one they gave out at Wi-Fi, and which is pretty much the same one as they gave at GameStop. It had a fixed nature of Rash, so no matter what, you'd always find the Rash. So you'd check that if that's the case. Fixed ability, that's obvious too. Certain Wondercard Pokemon have come with only one specific ability. You can't get the other one. So if that's the case for this one, for the Wondercard, select that box. And finally, fixed gender. Pretty obvious. Again, Nintendo might release a Pokemon that they only want a certain gender. For example, a male Pokemon distributed through Wi-Fi Wondercard. So yeah, select that. Victini is genderless, so it really doesn't matter. So I'll just uncheck that box. IV pattern. I'm gonna go for physical flawless. You can choose whatever you want, but do note this Victini has V-Create, so that is one killer move that Victini's that you got from Liberty Garden didn't have. So yes, I am aiming for 180 base power fire type move, so I want all the power I can get, so I'll go physical. Hidden power, that's obvious. nature. You can select whatever nature you want. It's right here. I'm gonna aim for an adamant one, but for all intents and purposes, you know, I'm gonna leave it as any to show you all what I mean by PAD and IVs are tied together. Ability, yeah, once again, you know, if it's fixed, doesn't matter. Ratio, we already discussed this earlier. You know, if it's an eighth, all that sort of stuff. You'll want to leave search from initial frame on. And here we go, just search. And this might take a little bit, but I'm only searching for a day. Since it is standard, you know, search for a day only. Search day to day using PPRNG. It'll save you a lot of time. Okay, so here are some results. We see Brave. Don't want that. I mean, sure, VCreate does decrease defense, special defense, and speed, but no, I don't really want to Trick Room Victini. And besides, if I want to Trick Room Victini, I would make that speed IV 0. But we're getting pretty good results. I guess I can stop it now, but you know, you can see it's still looking through. You'll be able to get a lot of nice ones. Beforehand, I would recommend in your game, you should have your chat tots ready, and you should be saved at the Pokemon Center at the Pokemon League, because there are no non-playable characters to screw over your initial PID. So, timid. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop it right here. I have pretty good amounts. I see what I want. Adamant. Ooh, I'm sorry about that, folks. Adamant. Ability 1 doesn't matter. If this was a gender-based Pokemon, you can see I'd get a female if it was half gender ratio. Whatever. Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. So my date is today, December 2, 2011, time midnight. And my buttons are right, R, and X. So, yeah, this is a perfect one. As you can see, start tells me initial PID frame, and the target is 54, so I wouldn't need to make any chat tot advancements with this seed. If I were to use, say, this Brave one right here, starting PID frame is 48, so I would need to listen to chat tot 32 times to get to 80. Yeah, 32. I almost forgot my math there. Sorry, folks. Okay, so double click that, and this is Wondercard Seed Inspector. Obvious stuff. Be careful. I mean, I seen this little glitch with PPRNG. It sometimes screws around with the date, so I'll just change that. Make sure the right seed. Everything looks good. Okay. Yeah. You know, Wondercard, blah blah blah. There. So hit generate, and as you can see down here, Adamant is the initial PID frame right here, as you can see, and right there. So IVs are 31 in all, except for special attack. Now here's what I mean by PID being tied in with IVs. If I were to advance the PID frame by 1 using chat tot, if I were to talk to the delivery man at the Pokemon Center and pick up a Victini, the Victini would have a modest nature and it would have IVs of 31, 31, 18 defense, 31, 31, and then 11 speed. So yes, it is sort of easy. Wondercard is probably one of the most easiest forms of RNG abuse in 5th gen. So now, since I know what I want, let's get to it. Alright, so as you can see, Wondercard Seed Inspector, same one, date, time, and initial PID, target PID with my intended IVs. Oh, and I'll have HP Electric and somewhat big. Alright, also, you'll notice this, date and time, my Apple computer's analog clock. You're wondering why I have this out. Okay, unlike DS Lite, DSIs, any of them, and 3DS do not have an analog clock built into them like DS Lite does. So you need to sync your time, at least the seconds, with an external clock, which I will be doing. Okay, so let's get started right here. Oh, one last thing. You can see DS Lite, 3D DSi, and 3DS, which we'll be using for this Big Teeny. Open up system settings. Other settings, date and time, the current time. Sorry about that, folks. My intended time 0:11:58. And okay, so I'm gonna sync it with my clock. Now, I should let you know, as I mentioned earlier, 3DS and DSi parameters will not be the same as DS Lite. What I mean by that is, for seeds on my DS Lite, I would need to, if the time, for example, for that seed was 0:11:58, I would need to start it 1 second earlier to hit that seed. For my DSi, I found I needed to start it 2 seconds earlier, and for my 3DS, it is 8 seconds earlier. Now, that's just for me. Make sure to check for yourself what second your seeds get seeded at. Okay, so what that means, long story short, in my case, instead of starting the game at 0:11:58, I need to start it at 0:11:50. So holding down this, and clock starts. Give yourself ample time to get back to the DS menu. So if you find a seed that has 15, I guarantee you will not get back to the DS menu or 3DS menu in time if you're using a DSi or a 3DS. Okay, make sure your cursor's on your Pokemon game. As you can see, there it is. A lot of fun games on my 3DS. And we're waiting to hit 50 seconds. And my key presses are right, R, and X, which I will hold down once I start the game. And here we go. So from here on out, if you've done RNG abuse on a DS Lite or a DS Phat, still the same stuff, Hold on your buttons. Wait till that logo disappears. Pokemon Company, Nintendo. A lot of people recommend you wait till you see the start crash. I'm going to put this down like this now. Okay, and very important, no C-Gear. Also very important, do not mash A when the season screen shows up. That will mess up your initial PID. You can mash X rapidly. Doesn't matter, it won't make the season screen disappear any faster. It is highly recommended if you are in a Pokemon Center where there are non-playable characters. But like I said, I highly recommend you do this. If you're doing a Wondercard Pokemon, you do it at the Pokemon League Poké Center, because there are no non-playable characters. Anyways, yeah. Right now would be the time to advance your PID frame with your chat tots, if that's the case. In my case, I don't need to. My initial PID was 54. My target PID is 54. That should give me an animate. What do you know? Adamant. And it is a movie. As you can see, the Cherish Ball movie. Let's see, 12, 3, 1. Oh no, it says 3. Anyways, there's the moves. We create Fusion Flare, Fusion Bolt, Seer and Shock. That's why it's such a, saw that one. Oh, and IVs. I can tell from looking at that I hit my seed and I got everything. But if you people want to be sure, you know, always look at an IB calculator, and we'll show it mine. So let's see, Big Teeny. I'm going to use Cerebeads instead of Metal Kid right now because it's at level 50, so it should be accurate enough. What did we say it was? Gift ribbon also. Okay, weird. It's often dozes off. Often dozes off. 50. 175. 132. 120. 102. 120. 120. And I can tell. Yeah, this is going to be flawless. Animate often dozes off. Guarantee you it will be that. If you want to make sure, just look back at your Wondercard Team Inspector. Kind of odd. It says somewhat vain, but everything else matches. So, yeah, nothing to be worried about. If it has everything else, I mean, characteristic, I guess, can vary for this. But, yeah. IVs. That's Victini for you. And this was done on a 3DS, as you can see, the little slide pad. That's pretty much it. That's how you get a Wondercard Pokemon through PPRNG.